ears hear the sound of time, stories weaving words that climb, whispered tales in a cozy nook. Welcome to the magic of every book. Bookshelf babble, take the stage, turn the chapter, fill the page. Laughter, wisdom, stories to spare. A podcast world where books are everywhere. From paperbacks to leather spines, mysteries, thrillers, and classic lines. Stories crackle, voices ring. Dive on in, it's a podcast thing. Adventures
Hey, hello everyone. You're welcome in our live session in Bookshelf Bubble podcast. Here we talk about books and related topics. If you like it, just join to our session, write the comments, write the question, and here we go. Let's go. And as a regular, we use for our streaming HelloTalk application. If you're not familiar, it's a platform where people learn languages and people around the world. I like it because it's very simple. Create a voice room. My voice room has name. What book are you reading? If you want to talk, just join to this platform, find my voice room, and join the conversation. Okay, let's go and start. Okay, we're here and we just wait when someone join to us. I need just let to mention that I'm streaming. I'm streaming this session on Twitch and provide the link here. Okay, and we just wait. We just wait. I added one additional, I don't know, like feature or something. I added additional camera. I try to just now test how it's work. You can see me in the under the table. Yeah, sometimes I will be switch for this camera just for fun. Okay, just back to our hello talk, and we wait when someone join. Um, when we wait, maybe I just tell some word about book what I completed. This book, I mentioned this book. It's on previous sessions, and this book, Kazuo Siguro, when we were orphans. I have the paper variant of this book. I just completed this book yesterday. I think it's the last 2 days. It was a lot of progress because I read around like 200 pages in the last 2 days. Yeah, I completed and mm, I put the 4 stars for this book. I just maybe tell some word about it. Why I put 4 stars for this book because I think it's not complete. This book is not so consistent. The plot is described. I think it's all very consistent. But for talk about interest to this book, it's slightly I don't know. Let's mix it different views, different like description styles. And first part of the book is more focused on the childhood relationship with like the so English society in in the in first part of 20th century, but after some second part, it's just action happen very rapidly, and behavior of main characters sometimes is all very unpredictable, and um, its main character is a detective, but in some part of his the stories they behave like to I don't know like to people who lose their mind and do some very not not typical thing. I was surprised and why she behaved like this. Okay, here we go. We have one. Okay, yeah. Hello everyone. If you want to join to our talk, just raise your hand and I will add you. Um, okay, let's go. Hello, how are you?
Oh, I am very fine. Thank you.
Okay, nice. And first question for you and for guys who will listen, what book are you reading in current moment? Can you share with us?
Um, it's called Lonely Dove. Yes, an American books.
Yeah,
Yes, novel.
yeah. Can you write the name of this book here? Because I like to looking for some information about it and add to my reading list.
Lonely Dove is about the journey moving cattle from the south to the north of American cowboys. Quite a good book.
Mm.
Trouble, tragedy, and things occur.
Lonely Dove. Okay, I will try to find it. Do you like it?
Well, I'd say it's worth the money and my time. So yes, quite an excellent book. Well, to my personal preference.
Okay, I just want to confirm, is it correct book what I found?
Okay, you asked me what
Yeah, I, I
but I
okay. Yeah, I just find some book with the same name, but I'm not sure if there's this book, Lonely Dove, Sony Cinch. Yeah, maybe it's correct. But I think this book has a very high rating on Goodreads, around like 4 and 42, but only 22 ratings. Okay, no matter. We have another people join to us. Hello, Anne. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, how are you? Can you share with us what book are you reading in current moment?
I'm reading like I decided to read Russian classic,
Okay.
and it's always 2 or 3 books I read in the same time, just one after another. It's I read Bulgakov, Master and Margarita a few months ago. Then I read from the last First Love by Turgenev, and now I'm reading the St. Petersburg Tales by Gogol. It's like and Pushkin Evgeny Onegin. It was also a few weeks ago, and I just decided to watch these books from adults' point of view, and it actually it's such a fun to read to read them. It's like really funny. You see the sarcasm that you've missed when you were a teenager, and also I always read for pleasure detectives. Now I read some Canadian detective about French part of this Canada. So it's always detective plus something difficult.
Okay, it sounds very interesting, especially you just let it decided to rewrite, oh sorry, reread school program and read like golden classical like Russian literature. Oh yeah, it's very nice. Uh, to be honest, I just like several years ago I read Peace and War, and I was very surprised because this book is so very nice and it has very good quality, and I was very sad because it's like to end it because I want more.
It was one time when I was a teenager, and then I was started crying after I finished the book. But it was a book about Angelica and the King.
Mhm.
This by Serge Delon, French book. It was the only time I cried, and because I liked it so much. But still, I didn't know that even Evgeny Onegin by Pushkin, it is so humorous to read, especially Master and Margarita. It just I was laughing out loud then I was reading it. I didn't get this sense of humor when I was a teenager, but now it's like it's like sense of humor that doesn't get old.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, and I totally agree with you. And many books is it's look very different when you read in different ages. And yeah, I I see your point. Cool. Um, okay, do you read some I don't know from something in modern like Russian literature or some modern authors?
No, mostly these are English books. I like some. I prefer to read in English. And there are like Red Lord by this island writer. Her name is. Let me check. It's Marian Keyes, and she has very interesting novels. They are very like entertaining and difficult in the same time because one time you are reading a novel and it's about a girl and her troubles, how her family split it up, how she had a problem at work, and so on, so on, and all friends just didn't want to contact you anymore, and it was such a disaster in her life. And in the end of the book, you understand that she was an alcoholic, and the end of the book showed how all her family saw this from their point of view. But in the beginning, you don't understand why everybody turns out this lady. And so she wrote, and every book of her, it's not only about entertainment, but it's like a deep psychological or mental or some problem inside, how to live as alcoholic, how to be an alcoholic, or how to be in abusing relationships. Very interesting. You don't understand it from the first chapter.
Okay, can you just like to repeat name of the book because I yeah first of all.
Let me type it.
Yeah,
Um,
no worries if you find the correct name, it will be nice because I like to add some reads.
yes, and I think I read one of Marian's Miss Marian, this Marian Keyes. I read maybe 8 or 10 books of her and liked them all. The last was I read, it was The Other Side of the Story. It was pretty nice and very good English.
Okay, it's some like modern American writers. Yeah.
She's Irish, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah.
All everything is happening is in Dublin or in London.
Okay, it's more like a true English writer. I found it's like one of the book Watermelon. Yeah, I think I correctly find the author. Okay, I will add it uh, this author for next reading. Okay, I have one additional question. It's slightly odd in condition because you're like two neighbors, and I know a lot of realities about current life in Russian in history. Can you suggest one book that show, on your opinion, life in your country? How like maybe modern people or people in past live in your country?
You mean this, it can be old book or a modern book?
No, it's just like to one of the book what you can like to mention. It's not important. It's like old or like modern. Just like to maybe action happen in your country. Or I know the old classical literature is Russian literature about like to about people in your country and living how they live. But maybe you have something uh, some special.
Mm, I'm not sure yet, but maybe it's Master and Margarita because it's so
Okay.
true. Because it's so true how this flat question has spoiled us.
Yeah. To be honest, I tried several times start to read, but I not completed. It's maybe time to reread because I think it's one of the um, book what are very often mentioned in many people.
Mm.
Yeah, I maybe reread. Okay, from my point, I can suggest book what I was impressed maybe last year.
Mhm.
Svetlana Alexievich, The Second Hand Time. They're available in Russian and in English variant too. It's about like post last year of Soviet Union and how life like to ordinary people change when Soviet Union disappear, and how many like to national conflicts rise, how like to crisis, how they uh, like to some some ideals what people believe is just destroy and disappear. uh, Sometimes it's sad book, but it's somewhere interesting for me. Yeah, it's just
Mm. So, the name is The Second Hand Time.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Second-hand time. I think you simply kind of find an electronic
Hmm.
variant, especially maybe some problem in paper
Hmm.
variant will be fine.
Actually, I was living in Belarus then the Soviet Union collapsed.
Okay,
Yeah,
uh,
I was
where where you living?
in near Polotsk.
Okay,
Polotsk.
okay. I see. I understand where. Yeah, it's. Do you live in like when you was young, or uh,
Yeah, it just
you rem
was
you remember?
little. I was very little. Then we moved to Lithuania for several years, and then came back to Russia.
Hmm.
So it was a mixture of languages, and I came back to Russian. It was very difficult to write Russian without mistakes because I didn't like. I was speaking mixture of Russian and Lithuanian words in kindergarten. When we moved back, it was not easy.
Okay, in this case, what you think is like your primary language? What
No, it's
you
Russian, of course. It's Russian. It just it was hard for me for the first years in school to. I didn't had this feeling of how to write correctly, like others do. It took me some years to study it well and to get high marks.
okay? But do you remember like to some I don't know basic on Lithuanian language, and you can you speak in Lithuanian?
Yeah, I was like using the word nori instead of want.
Hmm.
In Lithuania, if I'm not mistaken, I was counting in Lithuanian. I don't remember it actually now. I just heard these old tapes, old voice records. There I was speaking to my dad, and it was a mixture of different languages.
Yeah, yeah, I see at this point because my son, I think, has the same situation now. Uh, because I'm living now in this family in Sweden, and my son just
Mhm.
like to planning to go in school this year. My younger son, and now he will really speak on Swedish in these children's in kindergarten, but it's continue speak on the Russian inside the family. Yeah, it's some interesting, especially for children's. They very simple, possible adapt for new languages, especially if your language is so very different. Because I think it's Lithuanian language is so very different.
Yeah, it is sure. It's one of the oldest, like Sanskrit. It's
Yeah,
one of the two oldest languages. I don't even know how they survived actually, because you don't speak Sanskrit, but you speak Lithuanian.
yeah,
So it's sort of a niche treasure worldwide.
yeah. In this case, it's some. I think it's like to. Uh, it's one additional point for proud itself if you speak on the Lithuanian language because it's some very unique in this case.
Yeah, yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
I remember my like childhood like memories when I was around like to maybe 7 or 8 grade in school. I very often like to listen radio, classical radio, and
Hmm.
I listen Lithuanian classical radio culture. And where it's most of the time it was like a classical music, but sometimes it was some kind of I don't know, like newses and some intros in Lithuanian languages. And I remember I have even intention to start learn Lithuanian language. I go to the library and put like a big book about Lithuanian like to grammar and just try to start and remember some words. Yeah, it was
Hmm.
interesting story, but yeah, I think it's so interesting in language too. It's very specific like melody, and I think some slight it's more different than Finland or some other languages in same group.
Okay.
Okay.
Why do you live in Sweden?
Uh, yeah, I think it's one of the most point uncertainty in our country in the last 5 year. Uh,
Uncertainty. You have the same president for decades. What uncertainty it is.
so yeah, we have, but in 2020 we have elections. We have possibility to switch and change this direction, but we have like a protest was like to I don't know how it's called like to I don't
Ah,
remember this word. Just protest was blocked, and many people leave the country. And after the war started, and I remember this time in the Belarus when you not can predict what happened next 6 months, and you're not sure it's not be like to prison because it's possible like to donate on some dollars at the same time. Yeah, it was some hard time, and we decided to move. It's some another country. It's and when we arrive here, I feel it's some very like to relief because you just like to I don't know sleep more well. You can start planning for next some 2 3 years, and I feel it's more chill than in Belarus. Yeah.
I like your country actually. My friends went there last autumn. We were sending pictures. It was very beautiful and clean and seems safe.
Yeah.
Maybe the salary is not higher, just